good morning. As you can see from my like silly little intro, today is, well, it's not really Thanksgiving, it's Saturday. I couldn't celebrate Thanksgiving because we're in France, so I had to work on Thanksgiving. But today I'm going to be making a little Thanksgiving meal for Khalil and I. I think it'll be really fun and cozy. It's a pretty small kitchen situation, which I will explain later. But first step first, it's pretty early in the morning. We need to go grocery shopping and we need to go to the boulangerie to get dessert. Let's go. There's actually a lot of people here and this is actually very stressful. Okay, we are back from shopping. So now we just are ready to start cooking, but as I mentioned earlier, I just wanted to briefly explain that my kitchen is quite small. So all we are working with is 2 small burners, essentially no prep area, and then a small refrigerator. So this is literally my entire kitchen, but we're gonna make it work today. No big deal. We are limited on pots and pans and serving utensils. So basically today we kind of need to strategize as far as like keeping things hot and serving. So it's only Khalil and I, so it's not really like a stress or anything like that, but still. This is all pretty straightforward, like Thanksgiving foods. I think that's what's easier about shopping for Thanksgiving is that it's all very like celery, potatoes, like it's stuff that you know you need. My friend Hannah made me stuffing yesterday or Thursday for Thanksgiving. So we don't have to make stuffing to get it today. We will be eating this. And I think I'm gonna serve the mashed potatoes out of here. I don't know, who's to say. So with that in mind, let's get to cooking. Also, if you are curious, I forgot to mention this, just to like show you like reality, you know? This is some of our other stuff that normally goes in the kitchen, but I've just given it a new home for the next few hours because like Khalil's protein, like some of their spices and stuff, like I'm not gonna need, and I'm probably gonna need all of the space on the counter. So if you're ever doing like a big kind of like cooking in your tiny apartment, like don't be afraid to like just get stuff out of the way because I mean you need all the space you can get. So just a little tip. So let's go ahead and get cooking. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna be making today is the kind of like gonna be my stock today, my vegetable kind of broth. So the reason why I like to make my own stock is because I just think it makes it a lot more flavorful. You can get a lot more color. So what we have here is we have pepper, 1 onion, garlic, almost forgot the word for garlic, a carrot. We're gonna do just like 1 piece of celery and we're gonna save these leaves, and then we have some mushrooms. So we're basically just going to saute all of these vegetables for a little bit, that way they kind of become like caramelized and they release some of the flavor. Oh, I forgot to freaking mention it, I don't have an oven. So that can make Thanksgiving a little difficult, but that is totally cool. So we're just gonna saute them a little bit and it'll be great. Did I say parsley? You need parsley. I need to move this celery also. We're gonna clean and chop this later for our snack. So you're looking for a pretty fine slice. And if you had a mandolin, this would be a great place for that. Obviously, I don't have a mandolin, so we're just gonna do it the old-fashioned way. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add these, excuse this like cord, I'm just gonna add these to our pot. You probably can't see it now, but that's what I'm doing. Okay, so we're gonna continue sauteing. Okay, a lot has been happening while you've been away. Okay, so I'm about to put in the onions, garlic, and mushrooms that have gone down considerably. I added peppercorns from this like shaker to my broth. I added a bay leaf, I added parsley, basically everything else. I'm not gonna salt it yet because I actually added a little bit of soy to the onions, and I think that I'm just gonna wait until after the broth is done to taste it to salt it. So let's go ahead and add these in. Okay, so what I'm gonna do to make sure that I have enough space, I'm gonna, okay, so I'm gonna set this aside for a second, and I'm gonna move this phone charger so it doesn't get broken. I'm gonna weigh my water to see if I have enough space. So I believe it's 600 grams of, so close. I think it's 600 grams of water, so like for example, so this is 400 grams right here. In a bowl, this is 400. I'm gonna remove the scale. This can go right back on the hot. Okay, so this kind of looks like just like a beautiful like vegetable soup. Okay, so we're just gonna let this cook down until it is reduced by half, and then we'll strain it, and then we will have our broth. Okay, so we've arrived at our first snack break. Hold on. I never acknowledged my apron, but this is a thing. This is so good. It's like just tzatziki. Okay. Anyway, we need to do, I think my next move is gonna be mashed potatoes, because basically I mentioned that we need to kind of strategize like which dishes will go first, go last, whatever. So I think mashed potatoes are something that can be reheated really easily, and like for example, I want the green bean casserole to kind of like be hot on the plate served. I want the mushroom gravy to be hot on the plate served. So, oh my gosh, I'm really the worst. I just realized I like haven't been explaining anything. So this is also like why am I making a veggie stock? Great question. So I'm a pescatarian, like I eat fish, like but nothing else. And Khalil can only eat like halal meats, so that means it's prepared in a certain way. So it's just easier for us to kind of do a vegetarian meal. I did offer to make Khalil like so in France there's actually quite a few like butchers like around here where they have like halal meat, and so I could have gotten him like a roasted chicken or something, but he was like, you know what, it's not that big of a deal, like I don't want to waste any of it. So we're just doing kind of a vegetarian situation, like no big deal, it'll be really nice. So that's why everything is like only vegetables. Very important. Okay, so as I mentioned, I think next up on the list is gonna be our mashed taters. Okay, so I'm probably not gonna show you like a play-by-play of mashed potatoes, because I feel like, like you get the gist. You mash them. Oh, no. You peel them, you dice them, you boil them, you mash them. It's, it's pretty straightforward. So I will see you guys in a jiff after my stock has been boiling down and my potatoes are kind of coming along a little more. Okay, so I wasn't gonna say anything while I was preparing the mashed potatoes, but there are some very important principles that I just like need you to abide by in order for this relationship to work. Okay, so anything that you cook today that is a vegetable that is boiled, for example, the potatoes or the green beans, the water that they are boiled in needs to be salty like the ocean. That's what needs to happen for them to be flavorful. Okay? Don't don't put like, if you think it's a lot of salt, it's because it is, but like, don't freak out. It's okay. Like, we're gonna be all right. But yeah, the water needs to be salty like the ocean. Secondly, for the potatoes. For the potatoes, you need to dice them and you need to put them under cold water and then bring them to a boil, so that way the outside doesn't cook faster than the inside. So, lots of salt, cold water, bring it up to a boil, golden. We're gonna add some cream and butter, because like, I just like, that's another one of my principles. Like, I don't want to shame. I mean, like, if you want to have a healthier Thanksgiving, you know what, that is up to you. But for me personally, I just think that Thanksgiving is a day of the year when you deserve to treat yourself. You know, you deserve to treat yourself every day, but like, especially on Thanksgiving. So, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I will see you guys in a bit. Also, like I mentioned, also, if you really wanted to go crazy, you could boil your potatoes in a stock that was salty. A quick update. I don't want to be dramatic, but these mashed potatoes taste literally incredible. That was not cute, I know it. Cream, garlic, butter. Yeah, you heard me. Cream and butter. Thyme. Incredible. Okay, but here in food zone number 2, so I cut up my green beans for the stovetop green bean casserole. That is what these crispy onions are for. Okay, but I just really wanted to quickly show you if I can move this like absolutely insane amount of celery. Okay. Okay, so I just really wanted to quickly touch on. So I got a kind of wide assortment of mushrooms. I'll show you some up close images, but I basically got kind of a lot of different varieties. I think that these will be nice in the green beans, because it's gonna be in like a mushroom cream sauce. And then I got these. What did I get these for? Why do I have so many mushrooms? What else is mushrooms going in? Oh, okay. Right, okay, so we have these that I believe I'm gonna put some of these in the mushroom, the green bean mushroom. God, I cannot think anymore. I'm gonna put them in the green bean kind of casserole, and then I have some more of these kind of browner shiitakes, and these are gonna go in the gravy. I think this will be kind of a good flavor. And then for the rest of the gravy, for some of the gravy and for the green bean casserole, I'm going to be using just these kind of white, general mushrooms. You can see there's like a huge bag of them that I got. But going forward from here, so what's the plan? So Khalil will be home in like an hour, I think. So mashed potatoes are done, broth is almost done. So basically, I think first what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook my green beans. You just need to get them like a little bit softer. Right now they're super hard. I'm actually going to cook them a little bit longer than, well, I don't know, because they're going to finish cooking on the stove, right? So let's continue forward. I'm just going to warn you too, the sun is already going down, so like the lighting in here is probably going to start being not that good, but you know what, guys, we're going to make it work. It's Thanksgiving. It's not Thanksgiving. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so I think that it is also time for you can see the broth has reduced so much, so we're about to go ahead and strain this baby. Okay, hello from me over here now. I am like super nervous, but we're about to strain it. The broth. It's a little dark, but that's okay. Okay, so just to explain what is going on, we're gonna hydrate. Sorry if it's kind of loud. I just measured out my mushrooms for the mushroom gravy. So I'm just taking my plate and I'm going to put these mushrooms on it on a paper towel. And we're just gonna let these hang out for a little bit. Cool. Okay, so I am just going to drop these green beans into my extremely salted boiling water. And these, like I said, do not need to go for a long time. We just want to cook them through like a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna be real. I had to make an executive decision just a moment ago. The broth was, to be real with you guys, it was just way too potent on certain flavors, which I kind of felt like when I put the vegetables in the pot, I was like, I feel like this ratio is a little off, but I'm just gonna go with it. So I made the executive decision to just, well, you can kind of see, I decided to base it, so I have the broth, like, I put it back in the jar, and then I filled it up the rest of the way with water, which I think is probably the best decision I could have made for our Thanksgiving. So thank you guys for coming with me on this emotional journey. I hope I did not disappoint you. We're gonna eat a green bean. I did consider going to get a bottle of wine. Well, stay tuned for that. Okay, I'm gonna put my music back on and keep preparing vegetables. The green grass grows. I'm from Oklahoma. When the sun goes down. Like a losing. Beneath the light of a neon moon. Okay, so we are about to start on creamed corn. Creamed corn corner. I don't know. Okay, so we're just gonna dice an onion, and then we will cook this in some butter for about 5 minutes. Okay, so I forgot this recipe. I wasn't gonna say anything else about the creamed corn, but this recipe literally goes crazy. So right now we are cooking down the butter and onions, which, like, literally, why is butter and onions the most delicious food ever? But we're gonna do the butter and the onions for like 1 more minute, and then we're gonna add corn. I couldn't find any corn on the cob, which makes sense because corn is not in season right now. So I just got canned corn. We're gonna add a little bit of water. We are going to cover this for 10 minutes and like cook it low and slow. And then I forgot, this recipe literally goes crazy. We're going to grate some cheddar, some why can't I think of it? It's like an aged white cheddar. And then we're gonna add it, we're gonna season it, and then this will be good to go. And then we're gonna start our last 2 things, mushroom gravy and green bean casserole, and then we're ready to go. Okay, so another way that I don't have all of the equipment perhaps that I need, let me face the light so you can see how serious this is. So I don't have a lid for this pan, but I'm just gonna use a plate. No big deal, guys. Use what you have. Like, you don't, I mean, having a lid would be nice, but like, you know, whatever, it's fine. So we're just gonna use a plate, and we're gonna let that cook for 10 minutes. See you then. Khalil said he's gonna be home in like 20 minutes, and I just had this vision of like everything being done when he came home. So now I'm like rushing around. I've got the gravy going. I'm about to start the green bean casserole, and that's the last thing we need to do. Okay. Mushrooms in. Can you see me now? Okay. Shroomies are in. Okay, so I think to heat up, I'm just gonna literally put these on this big plate. Maybe it'll come out. Oh my god, it literally looks like a giant. It literally looks like a giant block. Alright guys, we have officially started on mushroom gravy time. I hope it turns out well. I don't know. Right now it's just a matter of like letting these babies cook down. Okay, so the gravy is thickening up beautifully. I think I'm gonna turn the heat off of that. Mushrooms are going for the mushroom casserole. cream corn done. Stuffing and mushrooms are in the microwave. I don't know if you can hear me at all over the sizzling of the mushrooms, but a couple notes for mushrooms. Number one, high heat, lots of fat, meaning like you should cook them on high heat with a lot of like olive oil and things like that. Secondly, if you want to brown them, you need to wait for them to lose all their liquid and then like give them time. So what you want to do is like just leave them alone, like don't touch them too much. So that's Maddie's mushroom corner, which I realize sounds much different than, probably much more interesting than this, but anyways, we're still cooking like 5 hours later. Guys, I'm really sorry. A lot happened and I started getting very stressed because I thought that Khalil was gonna be here in like 30 seconds and I wanted everything to be done. But we're finished and I'll show you what I made. Now I'm looking at it, I'm like, am I missing something? Like, I was just cooking for hours and there's like 4 dishes here, but let me show you what I made. Okay, so we've got the mushroom gravy looking sharp. Then we have creamed corn, a classic, mashed potatoes and stuffing, green bean casserole with onions, and then some like parsley and chives for a garnish. And we do have something for dessert, so I will show you that in a second after Khalil and I eat, but yeah, just waiting for him to get here before it gets cold.